What's going on, KiTS Nation? Thank you, everybody, for joining. Appreciate you guys taking some time out of your day today. I know it's a busy day. I know it's a beautiful day. I know you guys got lots to do. My goal today is actually to help you do more. Make more money. This is a good thing. Staying busy, though, and that's a big thing. So now, I want to get a few things out of the way right now, some technical stuff on my end. First thing is, can you hear me? If you can't hear me, go ahead and punch it into the screen here. I want to see if you can hear me. And I think through our sound test, we're good to go there. The next thing is video resolution. I want to let you guys know. We are working with a GoToMeeting, a webinar type of thing here. We're streaming live across the internet. We're using cameras and whatever else it be. But the reality is, this stuff sometimes on your end might come through a little bit fuzzy. It might be a little bit slow. It's what we call bandwidth. It's what we call the internet. It's what we call live production. So bear with us as that happens. That being said, again, if the screen's a little bit fuzzy or you're a little bit delayed, I'm going to be watching my screens because I got a whole bunch of these screens right now. Our team is here. We're sort of staying on the technical stuff, and we're going to make sure that, well, we're sort of paying attention to our screens so we're not moving faster than I'm talking, and you guys are able to keep up. As for Q&A, I am going to be doing a live Q&A at the end of this thing. So if anybody's got questions, you do have a sort of a little chat box there, a little question area. You can start typing in your questions anytime. I'm going to try to save all the question and answer till the end of this thing, and I'm going to try to breeze through this as quick, as succinct as possible for you guys today so I can give you a whole bunch of really awesome stuff. So my mic is on, my camera's on, screen share is on. We are recording this session. That doesn't mean you can go anywhere because, hey, well, you know, this is good stuff. And again, you get to ask questions at the end of it. Now, what I want to do just before I get started is double check and say, have you guys gone to our Facebook page yet and liked @KiTSPack on Facebook? If you have not, KiTS Nation, what are you waiting for? Go and make sure you go to Facebook, like our page, be there. A lot of wicked information we provide. At the same time, too, when you get a moment, check me out on Instagram, David Greenspan 101. That is my personal Instagram account. I'd love for you guys to follow me on Insta. At the same time, we've got the Mindshare 101 Facebook page. If you haven't already, go and like that page as well. So again, there it is, @Mindshare 101. For those of you that haven't done it yet, I do host a Mindshare 101 live a couple times a month. We got some really wicked special guests. Most recently, I just had Ryan Hodge with us, from the author of The Integrity Vow, wicked coach, trainer, consultant. The guy's awesome. Had a lot of wicked stuff to share. So again, check us out. Make sure you like the page. You'll be notified all the time when we go live. As well, last but not least, my YouTube channel. Lots of Mindshare videos, lots of other stuff there. These webinars are hosted there as well. So again, there's the address to Mindshare 101 channel on YouTube. Cool. So I got that stuff out of the way. Let's get rolling here. Now, timing is of the essence. This morning, and I believe, and I'm just going to look here, I believe you're on the line because you asked a good question earlier. You did, you are. I got an email from somebody this morning saying, how often do you recommend that we call our newsletter contacts? What questions / topics should I be using? What should I say to people? And what about, you know, even listings in a geofarm area, right? How do I identify who is going to be doing something and what I should be saying to them? And so for you, you know who you are who asked that question. I love it. Thank you for asking. And in fact, that's what this is very much about today, is going through that stuff with you guys. Why? Well, here's what we know. You guys are in a very high value business, okay? There can be a lot of money to be made in real estate. And I'm not sitting here today trying to count how much everybody's making, but we all just know, like, there's a lot of money to be made in real estate. And the opportunities are in the number of transactions, right? The number of things going on in the marketplace. And sometimes, you know, the volume of how much you make can be a little bit down. So we're talking, let's say the sale prices means you make a little bit more on the commission, obviously. But the reality is it's not so much about what the sale prices are as much as it is about how many listings are available, how much volume is moving, what's happening out there. And so with that, when we look at the past number of years in real estate, we all know houses were selling in, I mean, we put it this way. We went from like this 7 to 12 year kind of, this is how often people move, to like 7 to 12 minutes, right? People are moving like crazy by the minute, by the hour, by the day, by the week. Like, it wasn't taking years and years and years to see all sorts of business, which I want to use this word lightly. it didn't make it easy for us, but it kind of made it easy for us, right? We didn't have to work as hard. For those of you brand new in the business, you probably haven't really experienced a negative business as of yet. For those of you veterans in the business, well, you've seen this before. You've seen that bell curve happen. You know what it takes, and you know what you got to do to survive. Now, the one thing I ask you all, when you first got into this business, what did you do to really build up your business? What were you doing? What kind of hustle? What kind of grind? What kind of time and effort were you putting into your business? How many phone calls were you making? How often were you connecting with people? And have you stopped doing that because business got a little bit easier? Did we get a little bit complacent? Did we start to try to buy into all this marketing and let that do the business for us without actually making the phone calls and the in-person connections? Because think about it. Where do referrals come from? Well, they come from people that know you, like you, and trust you. They don't just come because you're in the business. They got to actually have confidence in you. They actually got to like you. You've actually got to make it easy to refer you. And if you're not making the phone calls, you're not doing the things you need to do to actually connect in relationships, well, people aren't going to refer you. And that's really what it comes down to. So when we think about it, in our marketplace here in Canada, there's kind of that 100-to-1 ratio for like how many homeowners there are to a realtor. And so it's a very competitive space. And because of the competition and because we're starting to see, again, I don't want to paint a picture of a negative market here, but because we're starting to see a little bit of a dip, what ends up happening is some of you are going to exit this business, well, totally by accident. Like I mean, some of you can exit it on purpose and go, this just ain't working anymore. And some of you are just going to fall out of it because you're not doing the things you need to be doing. And that's what we want to go today. We want to make sure that we are actively managing our relationships. We are actively getting out there. We are making things happen. The same light I said it in that email, we're going to create heat in a market that isn't on fire. And that's what we want to go through today. Okay. We want to create a predictable business. We want to make it so that you've got something to do every single day. And the same thing, again, I said in that email, we're going to help you today create a habit that's going to take maybe like an hour a day that you're going to be able to do 5 days a week. And this is what we're actually going to call work. Okay, not just going to the office, schmoozing, drinking coffee for the hell of drinking coffee and kind of pretending because we're at the office we're doing something. But I'm talking actually having stuff to do. I'm going to show you how to take advantage of that. And when I go back to this thing of what's going on in the market, let's say this, looking forward, the forecasters are saying that year over year, when we go out to BC all the way to the West Coast, their market's going to be down about 4%. Whereas when we sit here, like where I am right now in Ontario, we're talking a market that's going to be down almost 20%. So again, this is saying to us that there's going to be about 27,000 fewer listings on the market year over year, which means we got to create more. We got to drum up more. We got to go find more. And how do we do that? It's about communicating with people. That's what it comes down to. That's what this business is about. It's about getting in touch with people. And the thing that I love is the fact that you guys already have KiTS in place, which means you're already reaching out to people. You've already created this circle of people that are really out there that know you, like you, and trust you. It's just a matter of taking advantage of them even more than we're already doing. And we know that it's a fast market. It can be a fast market. It can be a fast economy. We just got to make that stuff happen, right? And this is where I want to change some of your habits today. Okay, I want to get rid of the complacency. I want to give you something to do, and I want to make sure that no matter what the market's doing, again, you're having business. You're drumming that stuff up. And the good news is, again, that contact list, you've already got it. So this now comes to how often are you calling people? And I'm going to ask you that, like, and be real with yourself. And not that I'm going to get the answers from you guys right now, but how often are you actually calling people? Are you actually getting in touch with the contacts? It's so easy to go out there on a regular basis and say, yeah, I'm going to call, all these strangers, and I'm going to use a dialer to go and call a bunch of strangers. I'm going to make 100 calls a day. Well, yeah, but they're strangers. Nobody wants to be cold called. And how many people have a house phone that they're even picking that up anymore, right? So it's so much easier to go to the contact list you already have and not just send the email, not just send the direct mail, not just post on social media, but again, actually get in touch with people. Right? So what do we do? How do we go forward and actually have stuff that we can put in place today, right now? I'm not talking about planning, guys. I'm not talking about preparing and sort of getting ready to do. I'm talking about what you guys can do today to take action. And that's what I want to go over. So one thing I always share with you guys is you've only got 2 audiences. And let's remember that. 2 audiences. You got the people you know, and you got the people you don't know. Now, for the people you don't know, we have an awesome Geo Farm flyer you guys should be sending out. You can do it one of 2 ways. You can go into the back end of Loop, go to your marketing section, go to Geo Farm Flyer, and in the Geo Farm Flyer, you will have the ability to actually send out a Geo Farm 12 times a year. You don't need to think about it. All we need from you guys, we need to know the postal walks, we need to know the postal codes. We're going to get back to you with a map and a quote, make sure that you can actually sort of afford this thing for the longevity of it, because I don't want anybody starting a farm for 3 months and going, it didn't work. In fact, we're going to talk strategy of how we're going to implement this thing for 12 months. What we're going to do to get out there and door knock. And I know nobody likes door knocking, but why are we doing it? Well, we're trying to take total strangers, move them into a contact list. So again, we can begin to drum up even more business. We're going to create an easy path of least resistance with these people, these relationships we've got, to again start to spark things and create that mind share. So people are always thinking about you. So they either want to work with you or they want to refer you and they want to scream it from the rooftop. So for those people that you don't know, that Geo Farm Flyer, you can put that in place for 12 months. We'll take care of you guys. We'll do everything for you. You also have the ability that if you are going to go in and door knock, you do want to have some stuff in the car, you want to have some leave behinds, you can actually go in and order grab packs. Okay, and what that means is you don't have to commit with us for 12 months. You can just go in, you can grab a pack of 50 that we'll send to you, or a pack of 250 or 5,000 pieces, however many pieces you want. And we got people ordering all sorts of different things all the time randomly. But we will create that flyer for you. We'll send it off to you, and you can go and you can hand deliver it. You can leave it behind when you're at a restaurant. There's a lot of really great things you can do with that. Leave it at the dry cleaner. Leave like 10 of them sitting there, and people can start to take them and just look and see your name, right? So again, there's ways to go ahead and talk to the strangers. But what we want to focus on today is what to do to talk to the people you know. That's what I'm going to get into with you right now. So what do we do? Well, what I'm going to take you through is how to build mind share, how to extend on the mind share with the people that know you, like you, trust you. We're going to talk about creating that habit that you're going to come into the office, you're going to spend 60 minutes. This is what we're going to call work, okay? So again, if we're filling out paperwork, dropping off lockboxes, dealing with signs, whatever it be, today we're actually going to focus on what you can do to get out and talk to people. Why? But Dave, I haven't spoken to them in so long. But Dave, I don't even know what to say to them. Dave, it's been 3-4 years. What am I going to do? Well, I'm going to give you an idea of how to call with a purpose. So I'm going to go over with you today a geo marketing tool, which is what we call Geo Search. And you'll see that on the top nav bar within Loop. And I'm about to take you in the system and show you how to use this thing. So we're going to talk about the Geo Search, why to use it, how to really make stuff happen. We're going to talk about your daily call list. So again, how to create predictable days with income producing activities. So you've always got something to do. We're also going to talk to you about this brand new feature, which we're really, really excited to share with you guys, which is called the email marketing. It's called a geo marketing email. Now, you've got this stuff through Trev where you can send out listings to people on like a daily basis, but that stuff kind of gets boring and kind of gets filtered out. And we'll talk about email open rates in a little bit. But the key here is using this branded tool to kind of, again, get out there and give some information to people that they almost weren't expecting, and almost take them away from this thing that we call e-fatigue, where people are just totally overloaded with email, and actually give them a bunch of value. And we talk about value all the time. The more value you can give to people, you don't know that it's going to turn into money for you. But again, if you continue to give value, well, this is the power of reciprocity. At some point, it's going to come back to you, and people are going to start to call you because, again, you're the one providing the information. So again, we're going to go through the geo marketing. We're going to go through a daily call list, and I'm going to introduce you to our brand new email marketing tool, which we think is totally slick, and I think you guys are going to love it. So let's do that. Let's get in there. Let me show you around the system and show you exactly what I'm talking about here. So let me just open this up. And again, if you got questions, please feel free. Make sure that you're typing those into the little question area. And as we work through this thing, I'm going to make sure I try to answer those for you. So first things first, let's go in and figure out what can we do on a daily basis. I'm getting into the office. Dave, what's this habit you're talking about? Well, here we go. I'm about to log into my account, and I'm going to go into Loop. And once I get in there, and again, guys, as I'm doing this, I like to talk a lot. I like to talk fast. I want to make sure that my screen is keeping up with what you're seeing. So I'm going to be referencing my screens over here and just making sure that I'm not talking too fast for you guys. That being said, what can I do, Dave? How does this work? Well, first things first, you've got this big list of contacts, these people you've been staying in touch with. And I want to remind you guys, by sending out your KiTS newsletter on a regular basis, and I tell you guys all the time, We do the slickest job with direct mail and paper that you're going to find anywhere. So kudos to you for deciding to use the absolute best newsletter out there. However, why I bring that up now is because what we're doing is we're using the 7 different ways to communicate with people. One of those ways being paper, direct mail, that physical, tangible stuff that actually connects with somebody's touch and feel as well as with their home. Because it's really the only form of marketing that when you're sending it out, it's landing in my mailbox. It's not just showing up through here. Because if you think about this thing, through the other ways to communicate, we got a phone call, we got a text message, we got an email, we got social media, we got online. Actually, 5 of those ways can be seen through this thing. So I'm kind of overloaded with it. I got too much going on there. That's, again, why using paper is so advantageous to you guys, right? That being said, with the contact list you got, the fact that you're being all over them, now we got to support what we're doing with our marketing. You have to support it. You got to pick up the phone and call these people. So here's how this works. Here's how you're going to make this new habit, okay? First things first, we're going to go in. We've already got our contacts in the system. We're going to go into what's called Geo Search. So I go into the Geo Search, and I can either allow it to access my location, but for today, I'm actually going to say don't allow. Why? Because instead of just searching exactly where I am right now, I want to search the wide array of where my contacts are. So the first thing is this. Here's step number 1. And guys, I encourage you, take a pen, take a paper, write some notes, reference this webinar after the fact. But again, I'm going to give you these tools right now. So the first thing I'm doing, I'm going to go to search on a map. I really just want to figure out, where do all my contacts live? Like everybody that's in my database, where's the majority of these people? In fact, where are they all? So I'm going to zoom out on this map, okay? And again, for those of you that are not in Ontario, you kind of create whatever big wide area you want. Obviously, I'm just using this as an example because this is where I am. This is where my contacts and my contact list are. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this little, whatever you want to call it, dingbat. I don't even know where they go, polygon, I don't know. But this allows us to create a shape, okay? So I'm going to just start a point, and I'm going to take another point, and I'm going to basically create an area here that I want to search to say, where are all my contacts? So the first thing I've done is I've created an area. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hit search. I'm not going to filter anything because I want to figure out, where are all these people? And now I see most of them, again, are in this smaller area here. And as we zoom into this list, guys, the thing that's important to know is where that one red sort of balloon, whatever we call that, the little pinpoint, looks like just one person. The closer I zoom in, I actually realize I got a bunch of people in that neighborhood. So now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go back, I'm going to clear that, and I'm going to say, let's create an area that's much smaller, much more manageable, that I can then find an actual listing in. So I just did that. So now that I've created that smaller quadrant, I've taken, again, the big area of where everybody in my entire contact list is. Now I'm going to create quadrants. I'm going to break out those areas into much smaller blocks so it's more manageable. And again, I can create call lists for a day. So a call list today, then create a call list for tomorrow. And again, a reason to call. So here's what you're going to do next. First thing was create the big area. Second thing was zero in on a smaller area. So the third thing you're going to do is you're going to go to the MLS, you're going to find a listing that you know is in that area. Make sense, right? We're going to find an active, brand new listing that is in that area. And then we're just going to figure out how to inform these people. So now that we found the listing, let's just call it 123 Anywhere Street. I'm going to go ahead and save this search. So I'm going to come down. I'm going to, click Create List. So it's now going to turn that into a list. And I'm going to say here, 123 Anywhere Street, May 9th. Okay, so I put the address and I put the date because this is going to help us track back, and I'm going to show you how to do that in a moment. But that's going to help us track it for later on down the road. So now I'm going to click Save. Now that I've clicked Save, I'm going to open up this list and I'm going to start calling people. So the first guy I'm going to call is Alan. I'm going to call up Alan and I'm going to say, hey, Alan, how you doing? And essentially, what am I doing? I'm calling him just to let him know about this listing that's in his neighborhood. Maybe he didn't know. Maybe he's not watching Realtor.ca. Maybe he's not getting listings. Maybe no other realtor's telling him. Maybe he's not driving by and seeing the sold sign or for sale sign. This is up to you right now to call this guy up, let him know what's going on out in the market. So the call might go something like this. Hey, Alan, how you doing, man? It's David. Yeah, I know it's been way too long since we've spoken. I'm sorry, man. But listen, real quick call here. And guys, this could be a voicemail, and that might even be a better thing. But real quick call here. Just wanted to let you know 123 Anywhere Street, which seems like it's like just down the road from you, literally around the corner, is up for sale. I thought I'd let you know that it's up. You know, it's going for about $975. Cool. Yeah, well, I just wanted to know, you interested in buying anything or making a move? No. What about selling maybe and doing it? No. You know anybody that's interested? No. Okay, cool. Listen, hey, just wanted to let you know it's up there. See if everything's okay. And by the way, how's Judy or whatever? You can make small talk. Just letting you know it's out there. If you need anything, let me know. Goodbye. How long did that call take? How easy was that? It was easy because you were calling with a purpose. You were calling to give him information. Now, he could brush you off and tell you to fly a kite. He could say, hey, thanks, and it might be a 30-second call. You could leave a voicemail, which I just said, that might be a good thing. But the point here is, next thing you're going to do is you're going to go into the notes and say, called him on May 9th to inform about 123 Anywhere Street being up for sale. Told him price. He is not interested, whatever typos, in doing anything, okay? And you can save that note. So what just happened was you just placed the phone call, you just wrote the note is in the system, and now you can use that and move on to the next call. So close it up, go to the next person. Bart, call up Bart. Hey, Bart, it's David. Calling to let you, now use your name, don't use my name. But hey, Bart, it's David. Just calling to let you know 123 Anywhere Street is up for sale. It's going for $975. Wondering if you're interested in buying, if you're interested in selling. Maybe you know somebody who wants to move in the neighborhood. No, Dave, I'm okay. Okay, cool. Hey, if you need anything, I'm here. Click, go in, add your notes, schedule ahead. Now, guys, this is where, depending on how many contacts you have in your database, you might have 50, and I'll tell you now, 50 is not enough, okay? 50 is a good thing to have now, but we want to constantly be building. Why? Because your business, 70 to 90% of your business will always come from the people you know, not the people you don't know. So the bigger that list becomes, the more traffic, the more volume, the more business we're creating with each other, okay? So to have 50 people, it's a start, but have a goal to keep building. Averages seem to be about 200 people to about 500 people on a contact list. When you're in that range, we don't need to talk to strangers. You can continue to focus on the people you know, and by doing exactly what I'm showing you right now, you will create enough work for yourself on a daily basis that will actually be reaching out to the most valuable people that you know. Okay, again, that contact list. So again, next person, Beth. We're going to go in and do the same thing with Beth. And what we're doing right now is we're just calling with that purpose, we're tracking the notes, and we're moving ahead. Now, once we've done that, we've called all 13 people. It's probably taken you anywhere between 30 and 60 minutes. Pat yourself on the back, say, I did a good job today. I just did a whole bunch of work. I actually did what I'm supposed to be doing. I know I got some other stuff to do, but maybe you just want to go have lunch, drink coffee, play ping pong, whatever it be, go to the gym. You can do that because you literally just went out and spoke to people. You literally just went out and added that value that you probably weren't doing for some time because, again, we're also hesitant to pick up that phone, even though we should be doing it more often. So, again, go through all 13 people. Now that you've done that, and we've got within our saved search, we've got that 123 Anywhere Street listing, I want to show you something else. You're going to be able to go back and do this exact same process day after day after day. So we just did it for 13 people today. Tomorrow we're going to come in the office. We're going to go back to the map. We're going to choose a new quadrant. Okay, so we're going to go and we're going to choose a new one because we know, again, where our people are located. And by the way, if you got somebody who's at the other end of town and you only got one person in that quadrant, don't dismiss them. Pick up the phone and call those people. Make sure you get in touch with those people, right? Keep them informed. Don't just make them think that, oh, well, I had to use an agent that was in my area. I mean, do you want that deal? If you want that deal, make them think that you're actually involved in the area. Make them think you know what's going on. Find one listing, call them up, let them know about it, track the notes, move on. So you're going to do this Monday. You're going to do it Tuesday. Come Wednesday, maybe next week Wednesday, who knows? All of a sudden, when you're on your home page here, and I want to jump around for a second, go to my home page. And on my home page here, I see a drop down that says Geo Search Reports. Well, what I see there is 123 Anywhere Street. Now, I, being the savvy agent I am, I've been tracking that listing, and I actually know for a fact that it has now sold. So what am I going to do today? I am not going to create a new call list. Instead, I'm going to go back and call these people. And yeah, it might only be a week. It might be 2 weeks. It might be 3 days. It's all good. Why? Well, I'm going to click on the eyeball. Here comes my list. I'm going to go to each person. I'm going to call them back. And hey, Alan, how you doing? It's David. Dave, I just spoke to you the other day. I told you I'm not interested. Cool. By the way, Al, I just wanted to let you know the property I called you about the other day? Yeah. I told you she's listed at 975? Yeah. Well, I just want you to know it actually sold for over asking. And it actually went for, 1.1. And I know the market's not doing exactly that these days, the same way it was a few months back. However, it's a good opportunity to go and provide the information to Alan and everybody else on that list to let them know that the property just sold. And when you let them know the property sold, they might go, really? How much did it go for? You might say, yeah. And they might say, well, I got a quick question for you. What do you think mine's worth? And now what you're doing is, because you informed them the first time of what's going on out there, they don't know it, but you're actually putting their foot in the sandbox, the real estate sandbox. You're getting them like dirty with real estate. You're putting their foot in for them. They're getting the information. It's letting their mind percolate, and then you move on. You've also done the relationship thing. Well, now when you call back and you let them know the property sold, well, now again, their mind is going to be spinning, and maybe, just maybe, they might again ask you and say, hey, what's my house worth? And now you got an open dialogue. So this is where, again, you're going to track that listing, track when it sells, go back in and call these people back and let them know what's going on out there in the market. They're going to go and talk to a neighbor. They're going to let their neighbor know while they're watering the grass outside. Hey, did you know that house down the street just sold for X amount? Oh, no, who told you that? Oh, my realtor. They are the best. They're always on the ball, always sending me information, not too pushy, but you know what? Real good guy or real good gal and like really helpful. Oh, you need a realtor? Oh, yeah, you got to call Alicia. She's the best. And all of a sudden, there's a referral moment. It's not just happening because of the marketing. It's happening because you're adding value. Does that make sense? Not that I can see you saying yes or no, but if you don't understand it, I want you to ask the questions about that, okay? So again, going back through that, you're clicking on the Geo Search. You're choosing a big, wide area to map out where all your contacts are on the map. Once you figure out where they are, you're going to create smaller quadrants with people, and you're going to start to break it out so you got much smaller lists, 10 to 20 people max, okay? You're going to create that list. You're going to find a property that's around that neighborhood. You're going to call with a purpose, call the people, inform them of that listing. You're going to track the note. You're going to save that search, and you're going to move on. You're spending 30 to 60 minutes a day just doing this. The next day, you're going to come back in, create a new quadrant. You're going to call those people. And you're going to continue to track those listings, and again, referencing your home page with this drop down for the Geo Search of when these listings or when they sell. You're going to go back to that list, call the people back. Now, that's step one. That is how you are going to call with a purpose and not have any fear to pick up that phone, okay? This is exactly what you need to be doing. This is exactly how to inform people and give them the value add that you bring to the table before anybody else out there does it. And you might have noticed at the same time, you've got full ability to email these people. But guys, you're already emailing people. And if you're using KiTS the right way, you're using the automated e-news, the manual e-news, and all that's totally inclusive for you at no extra cost. And if you're not using it, make sure you're using it. But you're already sending a bunch of email. You're probably already sending other emails individually to these people too. So what you got to remember is this is the perfect opportunity to pick up the phone and call. And yeah, hopefully, maybe on the first call, you might hit the voicemail. On the second call, we really hope we're going to speak to people, okay? Because that's, again, top of mind awareness. So we've just created an easy way to pick up the phone. So now what's the second step? Well, let me show you another tool. I'm going to go into a contact profile. So I'm going to click on contacts. Now that I'm in a contact profile, I'm going to go to some random contact that's in there. Let's just say Carmela was on my list. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the tab called Relationship Keys. Now that I go there, you're going to see this new feature. And if you're not aware of this yet, it's important to know about this. It's called On-Call List. This is where it's going to prompt you automatically. Now, first thing you want to do is click on the little checkbox. Okay, so turn them on for the call list. Next thing you're going to do is figure out how frequently do I want to be in touch with people. Now, when I go back to that email that somebody asked me earlier this morning of how often, guys, think about this. Should we treat everybody the same? No. Is everybody the same? No. Do you have different relationships with people? Yes. Do you see some people more often? Of course. Are there some people that are totally socially connected and they know what people are doing, when they're moving, when they're getting divorced, what they eat for lunch? Like, do you know that social butterfly out there? Because if so, there's somebody you want to stay in touch with more frequently because they know what other people are doing very often. Then you got somebody else on your list who, you sold the house pretty quickly. You guys really didn't develop much of a rapport. They're there for you. Well, they know you exist, but there's not really much going on. You haven't spoken that often. You don't speak that often. They're not very social. That person, you're not going to have to call as often. And if you think about the fact that you got a direct mail newsletter going out 10 times a year, you should have email going out 10 to 12 times a year. You got to be posting on your social. How often should you call that person that is not very social, that you don't see so often? Could be twice a year. So maybe on this one, you want to say set them up on a 6-month call list. Or maybe it's that social butterfly and you're like, you know what, I'm going to call this guy like every month or every 2 months and just say hello, say what's up. So you can start to set up different contacts on different call frequencies. And now you're going to be prompted in 2 ways to pick up the phone and call these people. First things first, I put them on the call list. I've chosen, let's say, every 2 months, and I'm hitting save. Now what happens is 2 things. One, when I go to my tools bar, right at the top navigation, I go to tools and I go to my daily call list. It's actually going to show me all the people I've put on this list. And again, this is a demo account, so I've got a whole bunch of different stuff. But if we look right here at Carmela Brightly, who's the lady I just put in, where are we here? We're going to say, there she is right there. Okay, so we've just set her up for an every 2-month call. She's going to show up on my daily call list. It's going to prompt me and let me know when to pick up the phone and call her. Now, I might have just seen her somewhere the other day, so I'm just going to hit snooze, and it's going to remind me again in 7 days to pick up that phone. Or I can delete it. I can go back to her contact information. There's a whole bunch of different things I can do with the little icons there. I can edit her entire profile. But again, the daily call list is showing me what to do. Now, you know those daily call starter emails we send you every day? You should be getting them. A day starter email. This is a wicked tool. You can literally look down at your phone in the morning without even having to log into the system, and it'll tell you you've got 10 people to call today. Click on that icon. It's going to show you those 10 people. You could be in the car driving or whatever it be. Pick up the phone and make your calls. Then once you make the call, what did you talk about? Did you leave a message? Did you talk about something? Track the note, hit save, and then again, they're going to be scheduled ahead because they're on your call list. So they're going to be automatically prompting you when to pick up that phone and call these people. And that again is bringing the real human nature, the real human relationship, the interaction, again, keeping it in the relationship, okay? So again, that's how to take advantage of the daily call list. We've got somebody, we started with the Geo Search. We started with the Geo Search. Now we're going to move them onto the call list, and we're going to ensure that we are not missing out. We are not doing that thing in 6 months from now going, oh my God, it's been too long. I haven't spoken to them. No. With this daily call list, you're going to have an exact reason to pick up that phone on a regular basis, and you're going to be prompted to do that. Make sense? If you got questions, let me know. So the third tool becomes this email marketing. And this one's really, really cool. I'm going to go back to my contact list. And I'm going to open up, again, a specific contact. And I'm going to go right here on the first tab called Contact. And I'm going to put in the marketing information. I'm going to select them to have an e-marketing mail. Now, what is this, Dave? Well, if you notice, and let me do this one more time for you, as I uncheck this box, this field disappears. Watch this. Uncheck, field disappears. When I check it, field opens up. Well, what's happening here? We want to send out information to these people. Now, you can set this up to actually go out automatically. You can also do this when you're on the phone with somebody. You can be like, you know what? Let me just show you a bunch of properties right now. And you can literally send this thing out to them right this second. So there's 2 ways to do it. One is you can use the contact's actual address where they live. You want to send them some properties that are relevant to, again, where they are. The other thing you can do is say, you know what? Oh, you want to move to, any city. Well, okay, cool. I'm going to punch in an address in any city and make sure that I keep you informed of some properties around that area. So I'm going to actually go in and punch in an address. that I want to kind of keep tabs on for you to make sure that, again, you know, maybe you're going to see something you're interested in, you want to move in. So we go to property type. I've punched in the address. I'm going to choose the property type. I know this neighborhood is full of freehold homes. I know you don't want to go to a condo. It's not very relevant to you. So I'm going to select freehold. I'm going to select my parameters, and we'll just keep it at 3 kilometers for now. I can put in a minimum price. I can put in a maximum price. The next thing I can do is I can actually say here, use default, right? So the subject line that that person receives in their email could say property listings of interest from David Greenspan, and or I could say, you know, here's some properties for you, Judy. I don't know, whatever. Okay. In there, I can actually also use the custom message that, or the default message that KiTS writes. So the market is always changing. Here are links to some freehold listings within about 3 kilometers of 50 Mural Street. So again, we're telling them what information we're providing to them. And then it's going to say, click on the link for a more detailed overview of the property. At the same time, if I want to add on to that, I can say something like, it was great speaking with you. Let me know whatever questions you have, okay? And again, always double check your spelling because this stuff is live. It's going out to your contacts, and when there's spelling mistakes, you kind of look silly. So let's make sure we don't look silly. So I've just created a custom message as well. Now, if no listings found for the search area criteria, so if the system doesn't automatically find listings, you can either choose to not have the email go out at all, or you could say expand the search distance. And you know what? If you don't find anything within 2 or 3 kilometers, give me a 5 kilometer radius. I just want to send something to these people. The other thing you could do is say, send an email with the following message, because maybe there's no listings. The market is always changing. A quick scan of listings within 3 kilometers of 50 Mural Street reveals that there are no freehold listings. Whenever you'd like to do a more in-depth search, you know, let me know, give me a call, whatever. So I've just set my parameters. I've just said, here's what I want to pull up for this particular person. So now I'm going to do show listings. And what it's going to do is it's going to filter through the IDX, and it's going to find 5 listings that come up that are within 3 kilometers of that area. Now you might be thinking, well, I can kind of do this through Treb. Yes, you can. But through Treb, it's going to, or through your real estate board, it's going to happen on a daily basis. It's not going to be really well branded. And at some point, it's going to get boring because it's coming all the time. Whereas instead of that, because we're all so overloaded with this stuff, instead of just sending an email newsletter or even sending an email newsletter, you can have an email like this go out on a regular, call it, hey, here, daily, weekly, bi-weekly, monthly basis. So again, do I want this thing to go weekly maybe to this person because I know they're actively looking? Maybe this is a person who's not actively doing anything, but every once in a while I want to send them something, so I might set them up on monthly. So again, this goes back to your question from before of how often. Know this, we're all different. How often do you want to get out there in front of people? So with this, I might say send it out monthly. Now, what I'm also going to do, and I'm going to show you exactly what this looks like right now. So I type in the email address of the recipient, and I could be on the phone with this person right now, okay? And what I'm going to do is hit send email now. So it gives me a little notification. It says, hey, we sent the email for you. And I go, great, this is good stuff. And now what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm just going to open up. I'm going to open up here. I'm just waiting for the email to come through to me. As soon as that comes through, I want to show you guys what that looks like. Now, as I wait for the email to come through, one thing I can do is I can actually click on this link. And this is exactly what would happen in the email too. So click on the link. As long as you have a website with KiTS, so you're using one of the KiTS websites, it's going to go right to your website and it's going to show the listing to that individual. So again, they received an email. There's a hyperlink in there to a listing. They can now pull that listing right up within your website. And at the same time, if they wanted to, they could punch in more information, maybe ask you some questions. Now, let me see if this email came through yet. Still waiting on that. Going here. There it is. Okay, let me open that up for you guys. So here it is. So this is what the email would look like when somebody receives it from you. Okay. They get this email. And it, again, has your branding on it. It's got their salutation, so it would have their name in there as long as their name is in your email. And, you know, it was great speaking with you. Let me know whatever questions you have. That was that custom message I punched in. Here's the default message. Here's a link to some freehold homes that are within 3 kilometers to 50 Mural Street, etc. And here they are. So again, what happens when they receive this email? They can literally click on the link, and as long as you got a website with KiTS, it's going to pull up. So you're probably thinking, well, I don't have a website with KiTS. Dave, how do I use this? Good question. So what happens with that is all you have to do is go to KREA, go to the DDF section, authorize WHAM Interactive, the parent company to KiTS, and we're going to give you a little URL. You put it in there, you authorize us, and now when somebody clicks on one of those links, it'll take them to a sort of more generic kind of default type of template online that they can see all your information. They can see all these listings. Does that make sense? I can't hear you, so it's hard to know if you made sense, but ask the questions if you got them. The key here is, again, what we're doing is we're giving people some real live information, either while we're on the call with them and or on a, again, kind of frequent basis, depending on the frequency we selected. Okay, so again, this is a really awesome tool. We've got to turn it on for you. So for any one of you that are interested in using this, just get in touch with us. Call Claudia, call Kamini, call Alicia, email us, whatever it be, get in touch with us. We will turn this feature on for you. And again, guys, I want to encourage you, use it and abuse it. It is really, really slick. It is fresh out of the gate. We're literally just launching it for you guys today. We're really excited about it. But again, it gives you that ability to really give a whole bunch of information to people. Make sense? And this is also that option where you can almost turn somebody off of the e-news if you want to, and instead of send them an email newsletter, go ahead and send them this e-marketing mail. So again, by checking this little box. Now, here's some interesting stuff. Speaking of email, one thing I know, and we've done a whole bunch of research on this, is that back in February of 2017, MailChimp, and I think we all know MailChimp reported that email open rates were just under, get ready for this, 21%. So of all the email you send out, only 21% of that email is getting opened. That sucks. Fast forward March 2018, so like 2 months ago, if you've ever heard of a company called Constant Contact actually reported those email open rates are actually below 17%. So only 17, actually less than 17% of your emails actually getting opened by people. That sucks. So for you guys with an E-only strategy, like I've told you so many times, if you wake up and hug a tree every morning, I understand. But if it's not about the environment, it's just about, I don't know, saving money or people prefer my emails, nobody really cares about anything you do. Nobody. And that's why consistency is one of the biggest assets we have of anything we do. So I continue to run the webinars for you. I continue to do Mindshow 101 live. I continue to do the Mindshow 101 videos. I continue to stay in touch because at some point that consistency is what leads to all of our success. So again, when we look at that idea of e-fatigue, we're completely overloaded. We are completely overloaded with email. How do we use email? How do we deliver it in a way that people are actually going to pay attention? Give them some substance. Fast forwarding on the Constant Contacting and the MailChimp, I've actually got other stats here that are actually reading that open rates are less than 12%. Bottom line, guys, less than 20% of your stuff is getting open when it's email. Remember that stat. It's important to understand, and it's important to understand the value behind the cross-channel marketing. Understanding why you're using all of these different tools that are provided to you with KiTS. And remember something, within the KiTS envelope, a lot of where you're spending on is the direct mail. You've got the email, you got the social media, you got the CRM. You can opt into the websites, and we've connected it all. And the websites we offer even have lead capture. Guys, they're $18.95 is incredibly cheap. The flyers I talked about at the start of this thing. Again, you want to see pricing and ordering? Click on GeoFarm Flyer, go to pricing and ordering. Make sure you order those grab packs because they're always good to keep around on hand and hand out to people. And if you want to talk about a 12-time year subscription, let me know, okay? So, what have we done here? And we're about to open the floor for some Q&A. So if you've got them, start punching them in for me, okay? But what have we done here today? We've talked about calling with a purpose. We've talked about creating a 1-hour habit, 1 hour a day, that is actually you getting engaged and working, okay? Revamping your marketing every single day because you're bored, that ain't working. Going out and going for coffee at the office and just going to the office and saying, well, I'm at the office, I'm working, that ain't working. Actually picking up this thing right here, getting in touch with people, re-engaging with people, that is what we do for a living. We are in a relationship business. We are not in a transactional business. Remember something, you're not selling pizzas, TVs, or cars. You can't put a discount on a house today and all of a sudden everybody's just going to buy. They got to be in the right place. at the right time. You got to be in the right place at the right time. You got to be in their mind. You got to build that mind share. So again, use the paper, use the email, use the social, use it all to get your message across to people and stay in their minds. Do it consistently. So what we talked about using the Geo Search tool, creating quadrants and giving yourself something to do, people to call, 10 to 20 people a day. Once those people are done, don't try and get through your entire list in a day. You're done. You've done your work. Give yourself a tap on the back. You've done the things you're supposed to be doing today. Move on and get the other stuff done. So the first thing is check the quadrants, create the thing, create the areas, create the quadrants, find the listing, call people with a purpose. The second thing I told you about was actually creating the daily call list. So again, going to the relationship keys, selecting on call list, put them on the list, choose a frequency, hit save, and now you're going to have reason to pick up the phone. You're going to be reminded by your CRM system when to pick up the phone and call these people. The third thing I told you about was using the e-marketing mail, sending out listings to people that are live, straight from the DDF, live listings to inform people about what's going on in their neighborhood. So again, selecting that button, the new area is going to open up, put in all the parameters, hit save, and start sending them listings on a regular. You can again choose the frequency for that. So we're now creating traction. We're creating a heat in a market that ain't hot. We're getting people thinking, and you're the one providing them value. Make sense? That is what I wanted to go over with you guys today, was really get through this system, show you some of these awesome tools we've built in for you, show you how to take advantage. And again, I have said it so many times today, but how to call with a purpose. Make sense? I want to open up the floor for you guys at this point. I want to see, does anybody have any questions about any of this? Does anybody, did I move too fast? Was it not clear? Do you have questions about anything? The floor is yours. Please go ahead, ask away. And for those of you that do want to inquire about a website, you want to inquire about any of the other features that you think you're not using, you want to set up a training, give us a call, email us. We're here for you to help you out and again, go through a lot of this for you, okay? And make sure, we want to make sure you know how to use this system properly, guys. So a quick question there. Do you have an example of the generic e-marketing page from KRIA? You know what? Because I'm in this account, I don't. I'm sorry. I was hoping to be able to get a view of that. Let me just see if I've got something here for a moment. I'm hoping my team sent this to me earlier. Bear with me, guys. I might have something in here for us. No, I don't. I'll see if I can get you a copy of that. You know who you are. I know who you are. Let me see if I can get you a copy of that and see if I can show you what it looks like. At the same time, guys, again, the KiTS website's $18.95. Real simple stuff, real inexpensive. It's got the lead capture. In fact, I'll show you the site real quickly. Again, you can update, the slide bar, have different pictures in there. You can have listings that are relevant to your office. You can have lead capture in there. And for anybody that does have a website, you got to know, it's important to know this area right here funnels right back into Loop CRM for you. Okay, so it's a real wicked way to have lead capture. And we talk about lead capture, then we talk about lead conversion. Converting leads really comes into how often are you going to get in touch with people. So you might have a lead that came through. What are you going to do? Grab their address, go and do a geo search, find a listing that's relevant to them, pick up the phone, inform them of that listing, create that buzz in their mind, track it, and then when it sells, get back in touch with them again. Pick up the phone and call. Got another question here of grab pack, how much, how quickly for door knocking, current content versus mail out. Love it. Thanks for asking. So again, guys, real quickly here, when you go back to your marketing section, and you click on Geo Farm Flyer. You want to see pricing, click on pricing and ordering. You can sit back, you can order a 30 pack, a 50 pack, or you can go ahead and say, I want 500 pieces, hit calculate, and it'll give you a price right there plus taxes and shipping. Now, how quickly? One thing to know is because, as you guys know, We run your newsletters on the first Thursday of every month. We do our data pull, and then it takes us about 10 to 12 business days to get that stuff ready. As soon as we do data pull, this is where we pick up the fact that you placed an order. We go ahead and produce it. You can either come to the office and pick it up, or we can ship it directly to you. For those of you doing a 12-month subscription, of course, we're going to handle all the delivery for you. But again, if you want to order one of these grab packs, know that if you place the order today, you're going to get it for June. Okay, so always think ahead a little bit of what do I want on hand. Now, when it comes to content, here's a cool thing. Our May edition is an April-May. It can be a May-June, a June-July. And so we'll always kind of duplicate, so you don't just have 30 days, but you actually got 60 days to send this stuff out. Okay, so again, from a content perspective, it is completely different than the direct mail newsletter. It's completely different than the email information. This is more generic type of info that lands in people's mailboxes that you can hand out, door knock with, whatever it be. It's completely branded to you guys. Really, really awesome tool to keep on hand. Anybody else have any questions about any of the stuff we just went over today? Okay, well, while we're watching for that, I am going to again encourage you guys to please, if you haven't already, make sure you like us on Facebook. Make sure you go and like our page. We'd really love if you liked our page. Okay, so that's at KiTS Pack on Facebook. For those of you that haven't yet, check me out on Instagram. Follow me at David Greenspan 101. That's just me always doing my thing. I'm there for you guys. So again, please check it out. Follow me over there. Next, Facebook page, my Mindshare 101 Facebook page. Check it out, Mindshare 101. And then, of course, on YouTube, go ahead and again check out the channel at hashtag Mindshare 101. Now, for those of you that are in the Toronto area, I also want to bring light to the fact that I am very excited to let you guys all know that I will be on stage at Realtor Quest presenting on my AMH theorem. Some of you might already be familiar with it. Some of you may not be familiar with it. For those of you that are there, that are at Realtor Quest on May 30th, 12:45 in the Burton Room, come and check me out. I'd love your support. I'd love you to scream and yell and cheer and do all sorts of stuff and tell all your friends. I want to make a packed house. I'm going to be bringing it. I'm going to be delivering it. It's going to be a wicked presentation. You're not going to want to miss it. At the same time as well, if you haven't yet, please go to my brand new website, my website, mindshare101.com. Go ahead and download your free ebook. So this is again an ebook that I wrote, very excited about that, and I got a whole slew of ebooks coming out. This one's on the AMH theorem, so again, some wicked stuff. Go ahead, download it. It's totally free for you guys. I would be honored if you did so. So that being said, for everybody else that's out there, yeah, absolutely, guys. You follow me, I follow you. We're gonna have some fun. But yeah, if you got questions, let us know. If you want to be in touch, call us, email us, get in touch with our awesome team. And from the bottom of my heart, I want to say thank you to all of you for your ongoing confidence in KiTS. We love you guys. If you need anything, we're here for you. Thank you very much. Have a wicked day, and make sure you take advantage of this new tool that I just showed you guys, because that again is how you're going to create the heat in a market that ain't hot and build that mind share. Thanks, and talk to you all soon.